I'm just going to do a quick review of Japan's loss just now to North Korea. Held in Pyongyang at the Kim Sung-il Stadium, as I said in the preview. It was very, very intense atmosphere. I love the atmosphere. The crowd was probably the most entertaining part of the game. It was a very intimidating atmosphere for the team. Zach sent out a mainly second-string side, and you could hear even at the national anthem, you just heard screaming and booing like all around the stadium. It was pretty impressive, if anything, for a hostile crowd. But yeah, as for the game itself, Zach started with a 4-2-3-1 formation with Maeda on top, and hang on. And he started with Okazaki on the left instead of his usual position on the right, and he had Kiyotake on the right, and Kengo Nakamura in the central attacking midfield. And Endo was given a rest, and Hosogai got a start. Komano was this time on the left, and Inoha started on the right in defence. And Kurihara got a game at centre back for Yoshida, who was on the bench, and Nishikawa took the goal instead of Kawashima. So there was quite a lot of changes. Like that makes what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 6 or 7 changes, I think. So it was quite an experimental lineup. 8 changes if you consider Honda would usually be in Nakamura's position, but anyhow. 9 if you consider Nagatomo would be there. Anyway, that's irrelevant. So it was a bit of a fresh lineup. The North Korean team was very physical, very athletic. Their physicality was actually very world class, albeit a bit dirty. In the first half of the game, they didn't seem all that in danger of conceding a goal. They had a few dangerous moments, but they seemed to be okay. But at the same time, Japan didn't carve out a whole lot of chances. I think they had 2 shots in the first half, both from distance. One was by Kengo Nakamura and the other was by Hasebe right on the stroke half time. Hosogai was interesting to watch because he seemed to struggle very much in this game. He got better as the game came on, but you could tell that there was a very big difference without Endo there. And he didn't position very well off Makoto Hasebe. What else was there? I thought in the first half, Komano again had a good game. He was seemed most professional. I thought Kurihara was useless. I don't think I think the occasion got to him. I'm not sure, but I do have my doubts about whether he's really quite capable of playing for the national team. Because I think he's 184 centimeters, but he didn't win a single header that game. Or no, he won 1 header that game, which isn't good enough. I think, and Konno, I don't think won any headers himself. In fact, the whole team won about 5 headers, until Havenaar came on. But the point is, in defence, they were losing pretty much every ball in the air, which was very worrying, and that's inevitably how North Korea scored their first goal. Let's see. Yeah, and North Korea, I think they anticipated this because they played so many crosses. They played very much a high ball, sort of kick and run sort of game. And Konno and Kurihara just really couldn't deal with it. So after Japan conceded, I think in the 60th minute, Zach made his first substitution and he brought off Kengo Nakamura and put Uchida on. And basically this switched Japan's lineup into a 3-4-3 formation, which was very interesting to see because it was the first time he'd used this in a World Cup qualifier. Although it was a bit of it was sort of an glorified exhibition match because both Japan had already qualified and North Korea had already been eliminated. But it switched to a 3-4-3. Basically, Okazaki, Maeda, and Kiyotake were the three strikers. Komano took up the left midfield. Hosogai and Hasebe stayed in central midfield, and Uchida took up right midfield. And Inoha, Konno, and Kurihara took up the back line. And Nishikawa stayed there. The team was a lot better in the 3-4-3. They seemed to press a lot higher, and they didn't concede as much ground. And at the high ball, they were much more resistant at the back with Inoha there. Kurihara and Inoha both got a bit better with the 3-4-3. But again, they weren't brilliant. But I thought Inoha in particular got a little bit better. Uchida and Komano did quite well on the wings, and I thought, and Japan's play in general was much, much better after they changed formation. And even better again once Mike Havenaar came on. So basically, Havenaar came on towards the end, I think about 5 to 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I think about, oh, maybe it might have been 15 minutes ago, I'm not sure. But he came on towards the end and changed the game quite a lot. Japan started controlling possession a lot more and started winning more balls in the air in the front line. And they even got a goal ruled out for offside, which Havenaar basically set up. But unfortunately, Havenaar was just offside. So, and towards the end, Tadanari Lee came on for Kiyotake, I think. So yeah, that's basically what happened with the lineup. In the context of the game, North Korea would say deserved their win. They were very physical. And they were a bit dirty in the challenges, and Hosogai in particular and Komano took a huge beating from their players. One of their players got sent off. The referee was not up to scratch. I don't want to like criticize the referees or like any of these other factors, because seeing as I'm a Japan supporter, it makes me seem very biased after Japan has lost the game. But yeah, but the referee had a bit of trouble containing the game, and the fight almost broke out in the second half when Maeda went down. I thought some positives to take was Nishikawa did a very good job. He was except for the goal, I thought it seemed savable, but he played very cool under the pressure of a hostile Pyongyang crowd. Other positives, Komano again was very good. Okazaki, I thought was the only one that really showed a bit of character in this game. Hasebe tried his ass off. He was very good. And Maeda, when he came on, he was again very good. The negatives were, Havenaar was very good when he came on. The negatives were Maeda, most importantly. Hosogai struggled, and of course Konno and Kurihara, especially when Japan was at 4-2-3-1, Konno and Kurihara were getting beaten every single time in the crosses and the high balls. So that was a bit of a concern, I think, and I'll be interested to see how Zach deals with that before the next game against Uzbekistan. But that's, I think, months away, so that doesn't matter for now. In the context of things, Japan has lost their first game in, well, I think they had a 20-game unbeaten run. So the last game they lost was to the Netherlands at the World Cup last year. So, they weren't going to go unbeaten forever. And they did have a second-string lineup, so I don't think, and I thought if they had a guy like Yoshida at centre-back instead of Kurihara, then they might have been a bit more solid defensively. I do think it's very promising that the 3-4-3 was so good. It wasn't amazing, I'm not going to lie, but they did dominate the game once they switched formation. And I think it's worth giving it another shot, maybe in the next game against Uzbekistan, because that'll also be a meaningless game for both teams, actually, because it'll just be practice, really. They've both already qualified. So yeah, okay, great, thank you. And please subscribe, stick around. Oh yes, someone asked, I think, for a prediction of the game in the preview video. I'm not going to do predict scorelines like Japan 2-0 or 2-2 or whatever. Because I think, first of all, my own bias will come into that. So when I do previews, I'd rather just sort of present the facts that I know that I think will affect the game. So, all right, great, thank you.